I'm PVC in Mangalayatan University, and I welcome you all for this webinar series. I hope you are aware that on every Saturday between 2 to 3 or 2 to 4, we are having webinars on different streams. First, we had management and commerce, then we had agriculture department, then we had biotechnology department, then we had so many other domains we selected where the jobs are available before COVID 19, in between COVID 19, and after COVID 19. So, in that series, today we have webinar on job opportunities in engineering and technology field. This was planned on last 31st, but it happened that the Eid was there and the holiday was also there. So it has been postponed till now, I mean 28th of August. So we are already saying sorry for not be you were not been able to attend that webinar on that day, those who wanted to. But at the same time, it took 1 month for more preparation for a lot of us, and then you will get a better, you know things in front of you, how the jobs will be there. Today we have Professor Mahesh Kumar sir. How are you, sir? Okay, so he's heading our institution of engineering and technology. Then we have Dr. Arif Sohel sir. Good afternoon, how are you, sir? Yeah, so Sohel sir is also there. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Then Dr. Sharma is also here. Sir, Dr. Sharma, how are you, sir? Good afternoon. Yeah, so Dr. Sharma is also here. And you are these, these people are not, you might feel, Are, इनके तो gray hair है. No, 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 don't think like that. They are just 50 years or 55 years or 60-year young people. They have more energy than younger people. I know one of them can defeat you in running 100-meter race. So don't go on their hairs. So then they have that kind of experience as well. Somebody has 35 years in industry, somebody has 30 years in academics, somebody has done research consultancy for 30 years, somebody has had built the bridges and even broken the bridges those were not built properly, and then reconstructed better bridges. So I mean they have done a lot of things. So somebody is electrical engineer, somebody is electronics engineer, somebody is civil engineer, somebody is mechanical engineer, and one more person is going to join us three because he has his lecture. And these people have learned from so many best institutions in the world. Dr. Sanket Goel is going to join at 3 p.m. and he has done PhD from Stanford University. So you see, you have range of people having consultation experience, industry experience, academic experience, and they have seen. मैंने कंप्यूटर 1983 में भी देखा है और आज भी चला रहा हूं, तो दे हैव सीन ऑल द जनरेशंस ऑफ कंप्यूटर टेक्नोलॉजीज एक्सेप्ट दैट वन, उस समय जो वैक्यूम ट्यूब्स थी उस समय का छोड़ के पूरा हमने कंप्यूटर्स देखे. So such people are here who are going to guide all of you what are the jobs available. So I hand over the mic to Professor Mahesh Kumar. He is going to introduce all these luminaries, and in between we'll have a lot of discussions, but we'll have prominently we have individual talk from all the people. If you have questions, just put your questions into these meeting details and all this. Yeah, I mean chat session. In chat, for example, somebody has said good afternoon, so I shall time good afternoon. Please don't mind. My typing speed is 200 words per minute, so I can type because 8 स्टैंडर्ड से अगर मैं टाइपिंग कर रहा हूँ तो यार गुड आफ्टरनून देखो मैंने एक सेकंड में टाइप कर दिया भगवान की कृपा से. ठीक है, अल्लाह मियाँ है. सो आई बिलीव Allah Miya, Bhagwan, Jesus, all these people are going to make this webinar successful and you will be able to make your mark in your career and life. So, Professor Mahesh Kumar.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Am I audible, Sharma sir? Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Now let me introduce Professor Arif Suhail Sahab. At the onset, I will introduce Professor Arif Suhail Sahab. Professor Arif Suhail Sahab, a versatile academician, has formerly been chairman in the Department of Mechanical Engineering of Department of Mechanical Engineering of Zakir Hussain College of Engineering and Technology of AMU Aligarh. He has also been the Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Sciences in Mangalaitan University. He has a treasure of teaching experience of more than 45 years in India and abroad. He has been the recipient of Excellent Service Award from a foreign university in Malaysia. 37 publications in various research journals of repute are to his credit. 20 master theses, 2 PhDs have been supervised by him. A number of consultancy works with regard to software development and management information systems have been undertaken by him. We are indeed fortunate to have Professor Arif Sohail Saab with us. His presence will bear the imprint of his visionary mind. His presence is indeed heartening, and we are truly exuberated to have him here with us on this webinar. Over to you, sir, now. Professor Arif Sohail Saab will come.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll try to make I'm sharing my screen so that I can have a presentation there. Is it okay? Should I do it now?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Uh, all right. So thank you very much, Mahesh Kumar ji. Uh, I come to the topic straight away. Uh, you have asked me to speak something on job opportunities after COVID-19 in engineering and technology. Now, what actually has happened during COVID-19 actually is happening now also is that things have changed. The way of working has changed. Some work have been stopped, other works are going on, but the way of conduction of those works have changed. And therefore, the scenario now and even after COVID-19 will not be the same as it used to be before that. For example, one which is uh, which everybody has, felt that there is more emphasis and many people are working from home. Now, when you are working from home, then some companies, some industry, and even education universities also have realized that it works quite well in some cases. If it works quite well, and if it is equally productive, why call anybody to an office and have an office space? You have to have the transportation, then an office space, then all kind of paraphernalia you will have to arrange for persons to come to office and work from there. If the same productivity can be achieved by working from home, even if partially, then it will save a lot of cost for the company. And why not continue with that? It will be much cheaper for the companies also, and for the employees also. It will be more comfortable working from home, especially if some kind of flexi time can be arranged, and then the person can work. This this will not be possible in case of a university, but in case of companies, it is possible that you have a certain amount of work, but which you can do at any time you like, during the day, and then it will be very, very comfortable for the employees. So it might turn out to be that work from home will continue after COVID-19 as well, even though it may not be in that percentage or in that amount which is happening now, but it will continue. That is my expectation. The second thing which has changed during COVID-19 and afterwards is there is economic slowdown. There is no question about it. When economic slowdown happens, then everybody starts cost cutting. Now, how the companies will start cost cutting? Whenever the cost cutting comes into picture, the first reaction is a push towards automation. I mean, let us have less employees, and so the employee is the most costly. So therefore, let's have less employees and push towards automation, and then automation can take care of employees. On the part of consumers, it will be that consumers will have less money because of this cost cutting and because of the job losses. Consumers will have less money, so therefore we will. And during the experience in COVID-19, everybody would in future will want to save money. So there will be less business in luxuries, and there will be more business in necessities. So the kind of companies which will be flourishing in future, at least for the next 2, 3, 4 years, the luxuries business will be less, and more business will be in necessities. Now, the technologies that have been in use during COVID-19 and which will continue afterwards also are some of these technologies which are now in demand and will be in demand after COVID as well. Computer technologies, automation and artificial intelligence, electric vehicles will be more focused. I mean, initially, before COVID also, there was a push towards electric vehicles, which will be more in future. Aerodynamics, housing, water management, online education, and biomedical engineering. These are some of the technologies which come to my mind that they will be in demand after COVID-19. Now, coming to the first of these, computer technology and services, since we are talking about work from home, so there will be a whole technological paraphernalia for enabling the work from home environment, which will require a very sophisticated degree of network management. There will be high demand for internet services. And when we talk of automation, ERP will be one of the things which will be in great demand. And when all of these things are working online, cybersecurity will be an essential service that will be required. Then, when we come to automation and robotics, there are two kinds of automation. Let's talk about the hard automation first. The manufacturing will be there, of course, but the manufacturing companies, when they think of automation, they bring in robotics. As you can see in the picture here, that there is no person visible there, and the car is being manufactured. Of course, it is not the complete car which will be run by the robot.
आरिफ सोहेल साहब, वो आप प्रेजेंट नाउ में जाके
जी।
आपकी स्लाइड्स प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. just go down where your microphone and videos are there.
नहीं, आपको
वहां पे प्रेजेंट नाउ करना पड़ेगा आपको.
नहीं, आपको स्लाइड दिखाई नहीं दे रही?
नहीं, हमको स्लाइड दिखाई नहीं दे रही.
नहीं, आपको स्लाइड दिखाई नहीं दे रही?
नो.
अरे तो बताया नहीं आपने, मैं तो इतनी देर से प्रेजेंट नाउ तो किया था मैंने.
अच्छा, नहीं आ रहा.
प्रेजेंट नाउ करके ही तो यहाँ पहुंचा हूं मैं.
रोहित जी देखिए बरा. नो वरीज सर, नो वरीज. दिख नहीं रहा है. प्लीज कंटिन्यू सर. जस्ट आपने बोला कि
नहीं, मैं अभी करता हूँ. अभी करता हूँ. प्रेजेंट नाउ किया ना, देखिए योर एंटायर स्क्रीन. चलिए विंडो कर देता हूं मैं इसमें. ये अब आया क्या?
Yeah, it
Yes,
is slowly
yes.
Can you
coming.
see it
Yes,
now?
it is visible, sir.
Now it is visible.
Okay.
So I'm putting off my mic.
So there was
Yeah.
something there which ठीक. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
अभी देखा? हाँ, ठीक है. Okay. All right. So I was saying that this is the hard automation where the robots are manufacturing cars. And so when this scenario will convert into robotics and hard automation, the kind of jobs will change. Jobs will still be there, but the kind of jobs will change. Now there will be less jobs in, for example, welding and assembly and painting and all that, but there will be more jobs in robotics, automation technologies, and artificial intelligence, which will enable this scenario of robots manufacturing cars. There will be more, and you will see more and more automation after COVID-19. Then there is something called soft automation. You might have heard about the software bots, which are coming up now very fast. And the process is called the robotic process automation. Now, this robotic process automation is a new thing, which has started even before COVID-19. It is not because of COVID-19 that this thing has come up. It was coming up in any case. Now, this is something which is going to replace or change a very large number of jobs. I mean, there is a McKinsey report which says that in the coming few years, 230 million jobs worldwide will be touched by this process. Now, what does this process does? Is, as you can see in the picture, it's not actually a real picture, it's just a symbolic, conceptual one, that a, let's say a person doing, or four persons doing jobs, now one robot is doing the job of four persons. This is called software robots. It's not hardware robots, software robots. And you can design a software robot in such a way that most routine jobs, starting from the very low level clerk to a supervisor or a quality inspector or even low level management also, can be changed to RPA. And the software robots will be able to do that, and the person will not be required. So what will the person do then? The person will be required to change his skills, and he will have to digitally reinvent himself. It will touch every sector. I mean, because this is a general technique, and it's not sector specific. So whether it is the manufacturing sector or service sector, it will touch every sector. And there will be very large scale changes in workforce. In the next 5 years, you will see there will be very large scale changes in workforce. Normally, for the kind of work for which you require a person, you will not require a person for that kind of job. Then artificial intelligence, and everybody knows that right now it is very great in demand. And as more and more operations go online, then the machine learning will be in very high demand. Data analytics will be in very high demand. Feature recognition for surveillance and monitoring. Surveillance and monitoring, as you do more automation and there are less number of persons in the premises, then the person's work has to be taken over by the computers. And few persons there will always be there, of course. And somebody has to monitor them. Now, when we are asking the computers to take over from human beings, the monitoring will also be taken over by the computers. So things like, feature recognition means the computer will be able to recognize it's a person, it's a car, it's a whatever, and then it will be able to do that. And then artificial intelligence will be also required for fraud detection and crime prevention. There is a large scale development in artificial intelligence which is geared towards not crime solution but crime prevention. I mean, we can judge when a crime is going to happen, and then we can prevent it before it happens. This is a very, sophisticated technique, but it's going to come up everywhere in the world. Now, you can see in the picture, and this is especially relevant in terms of COVID-19. There is a person being operated by robots. The doctor who is controlling these robots may be thousands of kilometers away. He's not there, and there is no person there. So he is using his computer and kind of joysticks and all that, and he's performing the operation on a person who is very far away geographically from him. If that was possible now during COVID-19, it will be very good, because otherwise people are not doing surgery these days because of the close contact of COVID-19 people. So once this technology is developed, why not? I mean, it will continue in future. People in small towns will be able to take consultancy from very expert people sitting in greater towns or even countries. So this is something which is now being developed, and people are required to develop these things. So the kind of jobs will be there which will develop these things, not the person who is doing it. Similarly, in computer vision, face recognition, for example. Now, the whole Aadhaar card business is done on face recognition. If you want to change something in your Aadhaar, they will ask you to go to the Aadhaar center, sit down there. They will take your fingerprints and your face also, and the computer will recognize the face. That is the same person whose Aadhaar we are going to change. You might have noticed in Facebook that if suppose I upload a picture in which there are few persons, and let's say Mahesh Kumar Saab is there also. So there will be a message going to Mahesh Kumar Saab that somebody has loaded your picture on the Facebook on this and this post. This person has loaded. So it's a very good thing. I mean, nobody can load my picture without my knowledge. So those kind of things are happening now. Now, this same intelligence will come into the transportation for the navigation and control. A sample of which is the Google Maps, which you use every day. This one. Then in healthcare, as I have shown here, you will have clinical decision support system. I mean, right now what happens that the doctor asks you to do these tests, and then based on the test report, he makes his opinion. Now then the computers will be able to support him in that opinion making. So this is all about artificial intelligence. Now, as I said, coming to transportation, there will be more electric vehicles and more aeroplanes, even electric aeroplanes. I mean, actually, Norway has announced that by 2040, up to 1.5 hours flight will be by electric aeroplanes. The technology is being developed now, which is, and the main technology is energy storage. So the battery technology will be coming up in very large numbers, and the chemical engineers can benefit out of that. For mechanical engineers should take care that there will be less demand for IC engines and gas turbines, etc., because they will be replaced by electric engines. For making aeroplanes, electric aeroplanes, and even cars also, you will have to have very efficient aerodynamic design of those structures. So there will be more demand for computational fluid dynamics, CFD. This is all for the mechanical engineers. For in the environment, as we have already been seeing, the environment is going haywire, and there is a large climatic change there. So we expect that there will be, through remote sensing, there will be good weather prediction, and there will be good pollution monitoring, and civil engineers will be required, and geological engineers will be required there, and of course mechanical engineer, because all weather prediction is thermofluids. So well, a very large scale of thermofluids and computational fluid dynamics will be required in weather prediction. Then, because of the economic slowdown and because of the less money with people, there will be a great demand for low-cost housing. And those low-cost housing should be disaster-proof. I mean, there were floods and droughts and all things are coming. So you have to have a technology for housing which is low cost as well as disaster proof. And water management, as you are seeing during floods and all that, water is going waste, and sometimes there is a drought, sometimes there is a floods. And floods does not mean that the water is available for everybody. It destroys the water sources also. So water management will be one of the things will be there. Then, as we are seeing online education right now, so online learning, it's not very sophisticated right now. Of course, laboratories cannot be there, but otherwise, uh, theory and lectures. Uh, so all kind of platforms and management we are seeing just now. Zoom and WebEx and Google Classrooms and Moodle and Google Meet, on which we are right now here. Um, Actually, the government, the central government has started a project in which they will be making one of the platforms their own. I mean, the Indian government owned a, a platform like these, so that the data remains within our control. But that will take a few years to come up. So there will be people required to manage all these things. And one of the things that will be uh, available in online learning is that you can have a class of thousands of people. I mean, because there is no physical classroom, so you can have as many number of students as you like. But if you have a class of thousands, how can you prepare a question paper and evaluate it? So there will be a technology for auto generation of questions and grading, which is coming up. And when online learning is in fashion, you can say the automatic speech recognition and natural language processing techniques are also coming up very hard. I mean, automatic speech recognition means you can speak something and the computer will write it down. Right now, also it's happening for quite some time. And NLP techniques is that the computer will be able to recognize that if you speak two sentences in a similarly in a different grammar, but their meaning is same, it will be able to recognize that the meaning is same and process it accordingly. So all these things look like they are all computer technology. So what other engineers will do? But all these things relate to some of the engineering parts, like whether it is online learning, the I mean, education people will also be required there. Otherwise, who will tell what to do? There is a new field that will be coming up very soon. Uh, it has started all over the world, but it will be in very large demand. That is called biomedical engineering. Now, the problem which is confronting us right now is that we are not able to make a vaccine for coronavirus. So everybody is trying, but their trials is conventional. Conventional means they think of a biological process and design some experiments for that biological process and then perform those experiments and see what are the results. The idea is now to understand the modeling, or to understand the mechanism, how the biology works. And if we can mathematically model it, then we can computationally arrive at solutions very fast. And we can tell biologists that you perform these four experiments have a potential to give you success very soon. So we can design potentially successful experiments. That will be a very, very revolutionary change in how the human biology works these days. Now, with all these things, what are the emphasis that we should place on our education? We have to have great emphasis on mathematics, statistics, computational aspects of engineering, programming and application software in different fields. Now, why I have put those four is here, that let's say a mechanical engineer. A mechanical engineer, somehow in his mind, it's that he doesn't need a very high level of mathematics. He doesn't need a very high level of statistics. And computationally, it's enough to have some CAD CAM, and that's enough. I don't need to have any programming skill because I am not going to do programming. I'm a mechanical engineer. But this is going to change. With artificial intelligence coming in every field, everybody will have to be very good in mathematics, statistics, and computational aspects of his own field. And every engineer is required to know good programming skills in any one of the languages, not necessarily in only languages, any one language will be enough. And application software in his field. So, for example, mechanical engineers will be required to have CAD CAM, finite element modeling, and let's say, I mean, thermodynamic simulations and all that. They will have to know all these things. So basically, these are the four skills which we have to have emphasis on our education, and therefore we can produce engineers which will be ready for the new technologies that are coming up. Even in the military also, if you might have been reading these days, there is already a very great emphasis on artificial intelligence in army. Uh, because the next war, whenever it happens, I mean, God forbid, it should not happen, but whenever it happens, it will be a cyber war. It will not be a conventional war. So whosoever is good in artificial intelligence will win that war. I mean, that's my hunch. So let's get prepared for that. I think that should be enough from my side. Thank you very much. Uh, what is the idea for question answers? We can
Sir,
have now
question
or later.
answers. No, no, question answers I have demanded and they are going to type here. And at the end of the session, we will have question answers. And
Okay, okay,
yeah, only Professor Sanket Goel will be taking time from 3 to 3:15. That much time
okay.
band will have to give. And rest of us are, we are staying put over here. We are permanent members at present till the end of
All
this
right.
webinar. So,
Okay.
sir, let me revise what Dr. Arif Sohail has taken. He has started with mode of doing work and mode of doing business and education. Work from home, WFH, has become the norm. And people, if uh, they continue after COVID-19, they will be saving cost, lot of cost, if it continues. In fact, many companies are saying they will continue. Then he touched the point of economic slowdown, how the cost cutting is there, how the push of automation is there with less employees, then how consumer has less money, and PPP, how much PP is I mean, purchase parity is how it is less. Then why the and the necessity business will grow and how the luxury business will come down. He touched the point. Then in technology before, during COVID-19 and after COVID 2019, what will be the technologies those will grow, and where are the jobs available? Where are the jobs available is most important word in this. Artificial intelligence, automations, electrical vehicle, biomedical engineering, education, computer technology, internet services, cyber security will be the essential services. They will not be, earlier they were tertiary services, but they will become the primary services. Then he touched the point that 430 million jobs will lost, it according to McKinsey report. And hard then he that is a that is a lot of people are saying, "Arey yaar, 43 crore people will have been losing his job. It is more than the population of several countries." So it is a shocking thing. Then he said that then where will jobs go? There will be hard and soft robots will be there. So jobs of many of the jobs, clerks and supervisors will be gone. So where will be the persons required? They will have to change their skills, because these jobs are taken, then other jobs are available. Where the jobs are available, artificial intelligence, fraud detection, crime prevention. He has touched that point. Crime prevention. Doctors controlling robots and operating the people during COVID-19 because they were afraid to touch the patient. The battery technology will go up, so technology and job will be there. IC engine technology will go down. Then environmental, low cost housing and low cost water management will have a boom. Online education will have the boom. Biomedical engineering, having computational biology, mathematical modeling process, designing successful experiment, and all these things will have a lot of jobs will be there. So along with all your branches of engineering, you will have to learn software, mathematics and statistics, programming, and at least one programming language you should know, so that in future mechanical engineers will have to know CAD, CAM, thermodynamics, simulations, and all those things. And in case the war is there, finally he said, then a person, a country having best artificial intelligence will be winning. I mean, God forbid it is not there. In fact, I demand, in one of my video I said that COVID-19 is the situation where all the nations should come together and sign a no war pact for 100 years. Because I hope everybody knows that there was a 100-year war. In fact, 117 years war between England and France. So why cannot 100 years no war be there? So that we focus our time and energy on sustainable development goals. So that those all points have been covered by Dr. Suhail and Arif Sohail. And now let Professor Mahesh introduce next our speaker. So please, Mahesh ji, please introduce the next speaker.
Yes. Hello. Dr. P.K. Sharma. Dr. P.K. Sharma will be our next speaker. And let me introduce Dr. P.K. Sharma. Dr. P.K. Sharma has been an alumnus of AMU Aligarh. He did his BTech and MTech from AMU. His PhD has been in environmental water resource engineering. Presently, he is a professor of civil engineering in Lovely Professional University, Punjab. He owes a teaching experience of about 20 years and is also blessed with an industry experience of 10 years. He has 90 international journal, Scopus, SCI publications to his credit. He has guided a number of MTech dissertations. Presently, he has been guiding 12 PhDs. 2 of them have been submitted and 10 are ongoing. Dr. Sharma has filed 10 patents, and out of the 10, 6 have been published to his name. I perceive highly privileged and express my deep sense of gratitude and highest reverence to him. I shall be ever grateful to him for his inexhaustible support, for which Mere expression of thanks does not suffice. So over to you, Dr. P.K. Sharma.
Thank you, Professor Mahesh Kumar. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir. Please continue.
Yes. So, thank you, Professor Mahesh. Uh, I'm very thankful to you to provide me this opportunity. And because I was waiting for my turn, I have online class from 4 to 5. A Femtech class I have to take. So I was waiting to be given number. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for all the respected persons present over this platform. Uh, so I'm giving a topic. What about the civil engineering jobs after COVID-19? Okay. So my presentation is being shared to you. Is it shared or not? Hello.
Sir, it was earlier audible, sir,
and
on
visible
record,
as well.
but
But
now
now
it
it
is
is only audible and is not visible. So make the presentation visible again, sir.
your
First
first
slide
slide.
was visible.
Okay. Okay. No. No.
क्या हो गया?
Yeah, okay. Just make the presentation now.
Uh, it
present.
is not being shared. But there is some issue.
No. I mean to
Yes, I am
say,
presenting my presentation.
there is a present now caption is there once you touch the.
Yes, I am having, but this is not opening. There is some issue.
Please don't mind, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah.
No. Yes. Now it is being seen. So my screen is being shared to you now.
Yes, it is been shared. Shutdown due to COVID-19 is visible now. So please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So yes, I'm giving the topic job opportunities in civil engineering after COVID-19. So we all are facing this total shutdown due to COVID-19, and real estate is uh, going to the surface, even below the surface. So job opportunities in civil engineering after COVID-19. Uh, the contents to be discussed are the introduction, career pathways, and their importance, uh, impact of COVID-19 in civil engineering projects, some doubts and questions which are very common to every one of us, upcoming challenges, construction mantras, and how to overcome the situation during COVID-19 and after COVID-19. And then I will come to the conclusion. So, why this job we are caring for? So, everyone does BTech for his career, and there are main 6 career pathways after BTech: job in government sector, job in private sector, self-employment, higher studies like MTech, MBA, etc., PhD, research and development, and higher studies in abroad. So, because this COVID-19 scenario is there worldwide, it is globally, everyone is suffering, every country is suffering from this. So, job after BTech, no doubt it is going down, real estate is going down. So, even in private sectors, contractors, all are suffering. So either there is self-employment opportunity or higher studies, or if the time has gone to join the higher studies for BTech people, BTech students, they can go for the certification courses during, and so they can make this as an opportunity. Uh, until unless they get job, they can go for the higher studies. So in higher studies, they may do the research, they may publish this research in the quality journals, uh, they can have the quality publications, and they can present their research work into the national conferences. Nowadays, these are being attended from home, like webinar is going here, and IPR patent work. So you can find out all these things and this quality work. And one thing is EIY. You can do your consultancy jobs. You can work as a consultant from your home. So you will experience it yourself. EIY. You will experience new things. You will find new challenges over which you can work from home. So with the quality research and EIY, no doubt you will be earning something during this crisis. So, because of the prolonged disruption and new uncertainties associated with the COVID-19, now the sector that is already under pressure may come to a standstill. No doubt, this real estate is under pressure after demonetization. And there is one more thing that came out COVID-19. So, voluntary step back of construction workers, which is unavoidable, is complicating things further. Hopefully, the authorities will take uh, into the account all these problems. So, COVID-19 impact on, especially on real estate. So, because workers have gone to their cities, so workers are not ready to return on the sites due to cancellation of long distance express trains. Workforce cannot be recalled back. If somehow few of them are ready to return but they are not able to return, developers are running far behind the target dates. They are not able to achieve their targets within time, so their projects are going uh, late. So, expected impact of the COVID-19 outbreak on the economy, developers are urging the authorities to use around 1 lakh crore collected from them for the building and other construction workers welfare, BOCW, SAS fund, to provide for loss of wages and healthcare benefits to the construction workers. Actually, these contractors, construction company owners funded this money for government to overcome this situation, and now they are demanding it back. So what about constructions in the era of this economic slowdown, unemployment, a national lockdown, when the whole world is continually working day and night for saving their citizens from the wrath of pandemic COVID-19? We civil engineers and contractors do have some pertinent questions running in our minds. And what are these common questions being raised in our minds? How will be the construction industry post COVID-19? So, what will be the scenario after COVID-19 and during this COVID-19? So, there are some questions coming everyone's mind. Will the construction business remain unstaggered after lockdown? Second, will civil engineers be able to get jobs amid economic slump? Third one, what about the investments that we spent on big projects? This is the question from real estate owners, construction companies owner. What can a civil engineer do to counter the corona pandemic? So for the students, this last one, fourth question is, what can a civil engineer do to counter this corona pandemic? So I am here to answer one by one. History repeats itself. Ironically, it's not a myth. When was fought some decades before, hundreds of cities were razed, and after Nagasaki, Hiroshima, everyone was telling that there is nothing left for future. There is a very problems to survive in the future. So, did constructions stop over there? Never. Did the infrastructure remain devastated as it was? Never. So, everything goes on, whatever it is there. There is popular saying in our country, ye bhi nahi rahega. So Sikandar was not there. Huh? Uh, Ravan was not there. So how can this COVID-19 be there? So we should be very positively and hopeful about the jobs. So the answer is absolutely no. This will not continue. One day we will win, and this COVID-19 will be defeated. So the construction has been revamped even more historically. Just look at the today's scenario. Uh, you found that Japan developed more than the speed which was before that uh, blast. So this kind of things always come up with a greater force. So you have to be ready for that. So what are the challenges? Inflation. Everyone is saying that inflation, yes, construction will get costly as per the guidelines of health organizations. Mask and sanitization will be made mandatory even after the removal of lockdown. So the insurance of masons and other masonry workers will also be a thoughtful issue in the future. So no doubt the cost will be high. So contractors have to look after these indispensable aspects for future endeavors in construction. Also, the scarcity of laborers will be faced. This will also be an issue in future because they are not ready to come shortly. It will take time to make this challenge. So future constructions, the main point is here: design, manufacture, and assemble. So precast concrete, precast members of civil engineering buildings can be designed and manufactured in the area which are in green zone. So some industries can be run, and then those can be assembled at the site. So this is only the solution for this COVID-19 and how to overcome. So what I was telling you, the green zone where a few factories have been working even today under some guidelines, they are following all the guidelines of COVID-19. If we start doing precast some indispensable structures, members like beams, columns, slabs, and then we can assemble them at the site. So this is the best solution. The projects are in gamut, which stranded in mid construction due to sudden announcement of nation lockdown. So with this, we can spend our time in a very constructive way, being positive to this pandemic. Virus fighting buildings. So is it a myth or reality? Uh, no doubt, maybe myth for someone, but home is the best solution. No vaccine. You have been locked into your homes, and homes are constructed by civil engineers. So this is the best solution. So today, we do not have any such kind of technology. We do have some antibacterial paints which make the air inside our home purer than outside. So however, some budding engineers and full-time researchers have been enough to get this, and certainly will come up with new technology in the future. So in today's scenario of the pandemic, some government and non-government organizations have figured out disinfectant tunnels, and this will be in use in future in different malls. We are seeing that there are spray rooms where everyone is first sanitized, then they are allowed to shop in these malls. A similar thing will be opted in future. There will be the tunnels in which workers, engineers will pass through after getting fully sanitized. So economic slump. People are saying about the economic slump in construction. So contractors and civil engineers should be at ease because even in lockdown, account audits of construction projects are being registered digitally. Every booking is going on. There is no slowdown. Even constructions are also going with following some guidelines of your lockdown. So they even do not need to visit their offices. Design engineers and architects have been indulged in CAD, Revit, and StatPro. So, like software, and trying to figure out more cost efficient and innovative designs. So, Amid this, some do have the misconception that we will soon encounter unemployment. No. Some students think that the government will not offer any job for a particular tenure in the future. So, need not confused at all. These misconceptions are really misconceptions. Don't worry at all. Indian economy is considered a $5 trillion economy and the fastest growing economy in the world. Money has been reserved for crucial times. We should ponder that we all are at our home for some months only. In these months of lockdown, the consumption of petrol, diesel has faced decrement drastically. Resultantly, government did not buy crude oil from other foreign countries. It's a blatant to say that this money can be simply infused into future construction and jobs. So not to be confused at all. So civil engineering solution for COVID-19. So what I was telling you that our home is our lethal weapon to strike corona. Still, there is no vaccine, but home is the finest and beautiful vaccine for this. And this is constructed by civil engineers. So, but a well planned home is far better than a simply constructed home. So, future is bright. You are going to construct the well planned housing. So, but rather than looking at this the micro level, assume it a macro level. Compare the Mumbai Dharavi area with all planned areas, and we will find that there are some uh, uh, misconstructions because of this. In this slum area, uh, this COVID-19 is spread more rapidly as compared to that of other parts of Mumbai. So the opportunities like digital technology affords the remote working digital means of interacting with remotely facilitating construction activity. So what we are trying to do is reduce the amount of time people spend on site, and this means that people can make decisions on the project remotely. If they have got up to date and real time information, they can work remotely from their home. So in some project, skilled workers could be substituted by r- robotic mechanisms such as welding with robotic arms, and even mason work with the boulders to lift to some heights. The simple robots can be used there, as Dr. Sohail Saab said. So I'm agree with that statement. So it could increase productivity and accuracy, but some might uh, express concern as robots currently lack the power of a person's mind to make instant changes or decisions. So what should be done for this? So there are some solutions. What I was supposed to uh, answer, that if we are looking to save the future after lockdown, then time has come that we must pull our socks up and start looking for better planning in the future, not only for the urban area but also for rural and slums both. And work from home, what Sohel Saab said, uh, I'm agree with that point. Work from home is also one of the opportunity even during COVID-19 lockdown. So you can work. If you are not getting job, make it an opportunity to go for higher studies, because classes are going online. Your study is not going disrupted by this COVID pandemic. So digital technology like camera installation to get the progress of construction projects, you can get it from home. Robots to be used at sites, all meetings online as we are doing here in the webinar. So opt higher studies and certification courses, making COVID-19 an opportunity. So uh, all the best for with these solutions. Thank you very much. This is all from my side, Professor Mahesh Kumar. Thank you very much.
Before Dr. Mahesh Kumar introduces someone else, let me revise what he has taken. Um, मेरे पास तो कुछ बोलने के लिए है ही नहीं, क्योंकि बच्चों के सारे जो सवाल थे आप खुद नहीं रेज किए डॉक्टर पुष्पेंद्र साहब ने, यू नो, ऑल
Yes, yes,
पर्टिनेंट क्वेश्चंस, ही
yes.
रेज द क्वेश्चंस एंड ही आंसर्ड इट। हाँ बोलिए सर।
Yes, I thought what can be asked, what is
यस
there going in the students' minds today?
यस
Because I'm having queries from my students daily.
यस
What
यस
will happen? What is going? So I every day inspire them. So I know what they can ask. So I involved all these questions expected.
दैट्स ग्रेट सर। सो he he raised the questions on project targets, then workers, then how the construction technology can be used, you name it, and he answered it। work from home, सर वर्क फ्रॉम होम अगर वर्कर काम करेगा सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, मेरा सवाल है सर, अगर कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर वर्क फ्रॉम होम करेगा तो वहां बिल्डिंग बनेगी क्या? अभी आप जवाब दीजिए।
Construction worker is not going to work from home. Engineer, your
Yes.
BTech engineer student is going to work from home.
Yes, yes,
home.
yes,
And because there is crisis in future for laborers,
yes,
this that will not come to a balance shortly. So there may be some robots working on the site, and
yes.
engineers can do. And if they are not getting the job, you can suggest your students, BTech students, to go for higher studies, certification courses, to
Yes.
get expertise in digital technology, what is
Perfect.
going to be used in future.
Yes. Sir, in fact, the laborers' jobs will not be gone. They will be, no, and if somebody says no, and oak along from new opportunities, they will have
Exactly,
new opportunities. Apart
exactly.
from that, our engineers, as you might have seen, that 24th, the 22nd and 24th, several places lockdown started, and 28 lot of university global universities and higher education institutions have started giving a lot of certifications and diploma and all these courses. So there are people over here, and you also might be there in that
Yes, yes,
25 certificates have been done, 48
yes.
hours, 40 hours.
Every university is doing this. We are
Yeah,
seeing that we are having double admissions in MTech.
great.
And four times admission in PhD in civil engineering. We are having 100 PhD newly admitted.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
this kind of scenario is there because they are making this as an opportunity. They are not getting the job in the field, so they are going for higher study, and higher study is the best solution for this COVID-19 pandemic as an opportunity.
सर आपको एक किस्सा तो सुनाता हूँ। 2008 में जब ये हुआ था, इकोनॉमिक डाउनफॉल हुआ था, आई वॉज देयर इन बैंगलोर। तो आपको तो पता है बंगलोर है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक हब, एंड
Yes,
माय
yes,
इंस्टीट्यूशन वाज इन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिटी ओनली, सो एडजेसेंट
yes,
टू दैट। सो व्हाट हैपन, और पीपल स्टार्टेड कमिंग, यार सबसे नियरेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूट कौन सी है? तो दो इंस्टीट्यूशंस थी। अभी एक इवन इवन दयानंद सागर यूनिवर्सिटी आल्सो हैज कम देयर, बट एट दैट टाइम इट वाज नॉट देयर। सो लोग हमसे पूछने आते थे, सर हमारा हमको किसी को 22 दिन की नोटिस है, किसी को 1 महीने की है, किसी को 2 महीने की है, सर इसके बाद हम क्या करें? तो अभी इतना जबरदस्त फ्लो हो गया, हर यानी लिटरली क्यों में रहते थे लोग। सो व्हाट हैपन, एक बाजू से एक दिन एक डीएनए की पत्रकार जा रही थी, डीएनए एज अ डेली न्यूज एनालिसिस पत्रकार जा रही थी, वो बोले ये काय की है देखती हूँ। तो सॉरी, बाजू में बैंक थी, अरे तो ये तो बैंक में नहीं है, ये लाइन काहे की लगी है? सो शी एंटर्ड। तो उसने पूछा, सर आप क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? मैंने बोला कि एक आर्टिकल लिख डालो यार, यहाँ पे जो बच्चों सवाल पूछ रहे हैं। सर हम कोई बीसीए है, कोई बीटेक है, अभी हम क्या करें सर, क्योंकि हमारा जॉब तो जा रहा है। तो उसको बोला चल बैठ यहाँ पे, बोला आप भी स्टूडेंट हो, आप भी बैठे। उसने जो सारे सवाल थे जो स्टूडेंट थे यानी इंजीनियर्स थे, उनके सारे सवाल लिख लिया, अभी लिखो बोला आंसर। और सारे सारे लोगों को सामने बिठा उनको बताया कि द बेस्ट वे in the downfall of economy is to improve your skills,
yes,
improve your
yes,
qualifications,
yes. That's the
develop
point.
new skills, go for voluntary works के एनजीओस के पास जाके काम करो, try to
Yes.
know how the life goes on। अरे
So
यार
what I
जिसके
what
पास
I
कुछ भी नहीं है, how he is surviving there and you are crying when your job loss is there। जिसके पास कुछ भी नहीं हो कैसे सर्वाइव कर रहा है, जाके देखो। and she noted it down। and 23rd I think 23rd March 2009 that article is still available। what exactly can be done in economic downfall. Sir, please,
Yes,
the
yes.
mic is yours. Boliye, sir.
Yes, I have already quoted this EIY.
Yeah,
Experience it yourself. So
perfect.
whenever there are problems, you find the solutions for that, and
Yes,
this is the research, nothing else.
yes,
Finding systematic and organized investigation of the
yes.
problem is the research. So you can do research. Research is not a PhD degree or MTech degree. Every time you do the research, right from the birth, you do the research. You find the milk when you were 1 day of the age. You found your milk from your mother. So this was a research. The research started very first day. On the first day you got birth. So research starts from there. So get expertise and do the research and development. And you can. So this is what I told you. This is EIY. Experience it yourself. When you experience, when you feel the things, you can find the solution of the problems. And problems finding solution is the research. So every day you do research, you do get expertise, and you can win the problem.
परफेक्ट सर. सो बच्चे बोल रहे हैं कि हमारे पास तो कोई सवाल ही नहीं है, ये तो बड़ा वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव लेक्चर सर, ऐसे बोल रहे हैं. तो ऐसे जो अनुत्तरित कर डालते हैं, हिंदी में बता रहा हूँ, कि जो दूसरे को अनुत्तरित कर डालते हैं, ऐसा वाला ये लेक्चर था. और प्रीवियस आरिफ सोहेल साहब का भी वैसे ही था. अभी आई रिक्वेस्ट प्रोफेसर महेश टू थ्रो सम लाइट ऑन the jobs, kind of jobs available into engineering. Just one or two sentence, because Dr. uh, Goel is not coming. He has conveyed the message. So what I shall do, because being an engineer, I also know what kind of jobs are available. So sir, just speak one or two sentences, and then I shall make presentation what Dr. Pushpinder Sharma has made, and what Arif Sohel has made, and which kind of jobs and technology will be available in future. मैं आपको कुछ पिक्चर्स बता के बताऊंगा. सर प्लीज.
Okay, okay, sir. I will leave at 3:55, sir. I have MTech class to attend. Okay.
Okay, by then we will make you
Okay,
free.
thank
Frank
you
sir,
very much.
frankly speaking,
Till then,
we will
I'm
be
here.
over by within 10 minutes.
Okay.
3:30 will be over most probably, because Dr. Sanket is not here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Professor Arif Suhail sir and Professor Pushpendra sir has answered a lot of anxieties of ours. The students who have completed their BTech since now can have many options with them. They can go for appearing gate examinations. They can go for opting MTech in transportation engineering, MTech in structural engineering, MTech in water resources, geotechnical, environmental engineering. A lot of fields are over there. Next, they can go for IES.
Yes.
They can go for PSUs. They can go for state government jobs. They can go for big companies like L&T's, Tata's, SPCL, HCC, and attend their interviews and get jobs. Even in this pandemic time, there are jobs in these big companies. Higher study has been a solution that has been referred by Pushpen sir. Construction management, construction technologies courses are still there. They can also be offered. National Institute of Industrial Engineering in Mumbai, National Institute of Construction Management and Research, NECMAR, and a number of job opportunities, number of higher education prospects are over there. So going for higher studies, even civil engineers can opt city planning and town planning. They can go for law. They can go for full-time courses on arbitration. And interior designing is another alternative. This can also be opted by civil engineers. So a lot more. We should not lose our hearts, and we are having ample opportunities. And as Professor PK Sharma Sahab has very well told us, that we should go for increasing our skills.
So I had promised all of you that whatever
whatever
Suhail sir has said, how
how
artificial intelligence is
is
going
going
to help you getting the
getting
things done and what are the things available.
available.
So
So
let
let me
expand present now. Okay, no, not this. Hold on. Is it visible? Sir, ये visible है? मैं जो कर रहा हूँ. This one. No, ये नहीं. ये आना चाहिए. I mean, whatever I'm showing this one. Oh, so it is not visible. Anyhow, you just go. People should go and check what are the things available. For example, if artificial intelligence is there, they should go and check what are the certification courses available linked to artificial intelligence and civil engineering, linked to artificial intelligence and their own domain. For example, mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, automobile engineering, and all those. So, with if you link whatever sir has said, that artificial intelligence, automation, electronic vehicle, biomedical, then education, computer technology, internet cyber, and cyber security, even new technologies like blockchain is coming. And in the recent past, in every domain blockchain has been connected with each domain. Even in the agriculture domain, people are finding that how to transfer money, how to transfer their certification and everything to a particular person without going to anybody else. If you provide proper security, blockchain, how it can be used in your domain, artificial intelligence, how can use in your own domain, biomedical engineering. Now imagine biomedical engineering, he is talking. Bio and medical both have medical things, but at the end of the day, biotechnology is comprised of biology and technology. So engineers are there everywhere. Internet of things is coming. How internet of things is going to help in your domain of engineering? So if you link all these things, get the certification into that, improve your skills, and try to know how the laboratories in your domain also work online. There are online laboratories available. There are places, chemical laboratories are, chemical what titration and everything can be done electronically. So how the online education is helping all those things? If we start doing all this certification, cyber security certification, along with your degree, then our jobs are definitely secured in different domains. One thing is sure, in future permanent job will not be there. Definitely it is going to be a past very soon. परमानेंट जॉब की चीज नहीं रहेगी, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट जॉब नाम की चीज जो है जिसके लिए लोग दौड़ते हैं भागते हैं, दैट विल बी ऑल्सो धीरे धीरे इट विल बी गॉन बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट्स आर फाइंडिंग इट डिफिकल्ट. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to be an engineer. Like in west, in USA, when I heard, whenever we were there, we heard that an IIT is equivalent to Princeton's plus Harvard Business Schools plus MIT. I mean, an IIT degree is equivalent, one BTech from IIT is equivalent to Princeton's degree, Harvard Business School MBA degree, and plus MIT BTech and BS degree. I mean, that kind of skillful and knowledgeable our students will have to become, so that they are employable in future, or they can develop their own business, or they can become entrepreneur in themselves, or they can contribute into education research in future. So I hope I'm pretty clear. And if anybody has any more questions, please shoot your questions here, because uh, sir, many are saying that Dr. Suhail and Sharma has covered all the points. We don't have any question left. That is what they are saying. So
Okay.
uh, the platform is belongs to you people, Sharma sir and Suhail sir. If you want to contribute anything, The platform is yours. 5 minutes you may take, and then we'll conclude. Sir, please. सुहेल सर, आपका माइक्रोफोन ऑन नहीं है. सुहेल सर, आपका माइक्रोफोन ऑन नहीं है.
Yes,
हाँ,
yes,
प्लीज.
yes. Yeah, now, I think I have said everything. As far as Mangalayatan University is concerned, I will again request the university to slightly modify the syllabi for giving some more emphasis on computational aspects of
Okay.
any engineering field, civil or mechanical or whatever. I
Computational
mean, I have
aspect.
seen the syllabi, and the computational aspect is very little. In every university, it is little, but in Mangalayatan University also it is little. We should give more emphasis on that. That's all
I'm happy,
I
sir.
wish to add.
I'm happy, and I'm going to suggest, in already board of studies meeting of lot of departments is over, and we are going to have academic council meeting. And your suggestion, I'm going to send after this webinar, that Dr. Arif Sohel has suggested that computational aspect should be added into every domain and every department of the university, so that our students become employable in future and can generate the job, or they can be a job generator, or they can be going for a job as well. So I shall put by your name I'm going to put it.
Okay, then thank you very much.
Okay, Sharma Saab, please, any suggestion?
Yes, I have already given this suggestion that this is an opportunity. COVID-19 epidemics is the opportunity for every university, and every university should increase and strong the research and development infrastructure, because this is right platform. Everyone from graduation or from post graduation will come to do the research. So this is right time. Every university should go for IPR, for filing patents, for conducting researches. So this is right time for universities. This is a good opportunity to
Yes.
increase the infrastructure in research and development.
Yes.
This is from my side.
So
Because
sir, yeah.
students, those who are not getting the job
Yeah.
in near future, they will turn towards the higher studies. This is only the solution. So
Perfect.
university should go on this side of research and development.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So both of your, with your names, that let me quote, like I quoted one sentence for Arif Sohel sir. Similarly, I shall quote the sentence what I am going to write. That Professor Sharma, with your all details, has requested to improve the infrastructure in research and development, because from bachelor's to the PhD, and for IPR and patent are going to increase in futures, and those
Yes.
students who will have research background will be only eligible for new jobs or new entrepreneurship. So
Yes.
something like that, for in the both of your
Yes.
names we'll put in the BOS, that will be ratified in the academic council.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
So we are thankful to you, and I request Professor Mahesh Kumar to to produce the, to deliver the, sorry, to deliver the vote of thanks. And please go ahead, sir. Thank you very much.
On the special occasion of conduction of a national webinar by the Institute of Engineering and Technology on job opportunities.
Sir, one correction. It is not national, it is international. Few
Okay.
international students are here.
Okay, okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, I will repeat. On the special occasion of conduction of an international webinar by the Institute of Engineering and Technology on job opportunities after COVID-19 in engineering and technology, it is my proud privilege and pleasure to extend a very warm and hearty vote of thanks to our distinguished speakers, Professor Arif Saab and Professor P.K. Sharma Saab, have graciously accepted our invitation and consented to be the speakers in the webinar. With their wealth of knowledge and experience, they have given us a sense of intellectual enrichment. They have fed the participants with ideas and thoughts and graced the occasion. I take the opportunity to sincerely thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for this brilliant initiative in instituting the webinar series that has immensely benefited the university academia. I am deeply grateful to him, sir. I must express my profound thanks to Honorable PVC, sir, for being anchor and host to this webinar and for also extending every possible help with regard to conduction of this event. I am confident and I understand that this webinar would have proved much meaningful, thought-provoking, and useful to all our students and participants. I also hope that it will update our students and participants with regard to recent job opportunities and more especially on how to grab them. I thank them for their patience and cooperation. I owe thanks to our colleagues who have supported us in ways too great to forget. I will be failing in my duty if I do not underline a very important role undertaken by Mr. Rohit Shakya and Ms. Diksha Yadav. Thank you very much to both of you for your valuable support. So at the end, thank you very much to all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, thank you all of you. Thank you, Arif sir. Thank you, Pushpendra sir. Thank you, Mahesh sir. And all of you. May God bless you all. I declare the webinar is over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.